Hello everyone, this is Oge's podcast, a podcast for social issues that bug us. My name is Ogechi, aka Dr. Mindset. My background is in psychology management and law. I am the lead consultant at Mindset Co, where I help people via life coaching services, dispute resolution, counseling, and resource management. This podcast hopes to blend in fun and facts as we delve into your mindset. Episode 3, You Hurt You, You Hurt Me. The United Nations Office on Drugs and Crime estimated that in 2017, 1 in 4 drug users was a woman and 1 in 5 high-risk drug users injected drugs. And this numbers for the past year in Nigeria for drug use. For example, cannabis, 10.6 million Nigerians used cannabis in 2017, 4.6 million used opioids, 2.4 million used cough syrups, 481,000 used tranquilizers and sedatives, 340,000 use ecstasy, 300,000 use solvents and inhalers, 238,000 use amphetamines and stimulants, 92,000 used cocaine and its subsidiaries. This makes you want to think that could this be part of the reasons why we're having more and more social issues in our country because of the abuse of drugs, off-the-counter hard drugs or high-risk drugs? Does it make you think the person next to you, your neighbor, the person you work with, people living in your home, people you see on the street, are they using? Well, you might not know. Some of us have an inkling onto picking up on the signs. But let's have a look at what some of the signs of and symptoms of substance abuse are, because knowing the signs and symptoms of abuse can help you get your loved ones, friends, families, quality detox program and treatment. Observable signs of substance abuse can include anxiety, depression, irritability, even suicidal thoughts or behavior. It also includes euphoria, inappropriate anger, paranoia, impaired judgment, restlessness, inability to sleep, hypersensitivity to light, sound, touch, dilated pupils, gastrointestinal complication, including abdominal pain, nausea, poor appetite and weight loss, muscular weaknesses, increased body temperature and heart rate, and even blood pressure. They might experience some cardiovascular events that include arrhythmia, sudden cardiac arrest, or even stroke. Neurological side effects do include headache, tremors, seizures, and comas. They do experience a burst of energy followed by the crash after they've taken. This includes depression, anxiety, irritability. Negative emotions may typically indicate substance abuse, typically when they occur together with other symptoms. When coming down from a high, some of the users may experience suicidal thoughts or exhibit suicidal or damaging behavior. Now that you know what you're looking for, how do we get them the best help? The reality is that there's no guaranteed way to treat substance withdrawal, but time is indeed a healer. Our body is a wonderful instrument that has been given to us. It must readjust to its normal level of neurotransmitters in the brain and their matching receptors. The adjustment process is what causes this uncomfortable withdrawal symptoms, so it cannot be avoided. It's like when the substance causes intense cravings during the withdrawal because it's trying to fight back. I'm used to this, where is it, and it wants it back. So, and it's fighting your body, and your body is trying to readjust itself. It's as if your body is trying to discipline itself, but the substance that's been taken is fighting against that discipline. And this is one of the main barriers to a long-term recovery for so many people. A person detoxing alone will usually have more difficulty managing these cravings. Hence, rehabilitation centers with trained professionals to help through the detox process and healing process is essential in most situations. To help weather withdrawal symptoms, a person should take steps to have and maintain a healthy lifestyle deliberately. It may not sound as glamorous, but the first step to recovering is simply developing healthy habits, positive thinking, mindfulness. Some people would engage in a detox plan, but during that process there's some things you would observe, because when substance has been used over a period of time, it takes a while to clear out from the system. A user trying to detox will typically go through 3 phases: the crash phase, the craving / withdrawal phase, the extension phase. Now with the crash phase, this usually happens a few hours to 4 days. The symptoms that they person will be displaying include exhaustion, hyperinsomnia, which refers to excessive daytime sleepiness, excessive time spent sleeping, which this is a condition where you basically have trouble staying awake during the day. So when you see someone sleeping for long hours of the day and you be like, guy, what's wrong with you? Girl, what's wrong with you? What's happening? Why are you sleeping so long in the day? They may have another pre-existing medical condition, or they may be having experience or a crash phase from a heavy use. They typically will not have any cravings that period. Sometimes they do experience a form of depression. It's called sometimes they experience a form of depression. They have increased appetite. They feel restless and very irritable. When they have been able to successfully move past that craving, that crash phase, they experience that withdrawal or craving stage that happens between the first week and 10 weeks. The symptoms they will display typically lack of energy or enthusiasm. Also, still have the pathological state of sleeplessness or deep unresponsiveness or inactivity. Basically, nothing interests them. Nothing gives them that dopamine anymore. Everything seems blah, pretty much. They have that anxiety because anxiety is the body's natural response to stress. So that feeling of fear or apprehension of what's to come gets their heart racing and makes them erratic and gives them that irregular sleep, and then they start having strong cravings again to get that high and chill that they had once before. They become emotionally liable because they start having exaggerated changes in their mood, where they have one moment they're strong emotion, chilled out, relaxed, they're like their normal selves, and before you know it, they start behaving in a very uncontrollable manner, maybe laughing or crying or very temperamental or irritable. All of a sudden you'll be like, what is happening? Just a moment ago you were okay, and all of a sudden now you just become a total different person. Then they start to have that irritability and depression sets in, and they have really poor concentration. They can't focus on anything as much as they try to. Their whole mind is focused on trying to get that fix. If they're able to succeed through that phase and break through all of that barrier successfully, then we have the extension period, which takes up to about 28 weeks. They would still have the episodic cravings state. They will still be in that state of unease. Once in a while it shows itself, and they still have that general dissatisfaction with life. So that's where a lot of treatment, a lot of support, a lot of love and care comes in to help them through that extension phase, so they don't have to go back. They don't see the need. They find other methods to cope from whatever stresses or anxieties they are facing in life that may have caused them to follow that direction of drug abuse in the first place. There are two major types of detox plans that people undergo, as there's no medication specifically approved for the treatment of withdrawal. So the treatments will basically focus on monitoring the symptoms and provide a safe environment to limit harm to themselves and others. It may take place in a variety of treatment settings, either an outpatient setting or an inpatient setting. With the outpatient setting, this will be for people who have a very strong support network, limited risk, so they're not using high risk drugs. They can follow with the outpatient treatment, which allows them to go to work or school, come back, attend their treatment with their therapist, return home in their path to recovery. It's available at doctor's office, community addiction treatment centers, or special care centers. Some churches have them, some communities have them, Some private practices have them. Majorly with more high-risk drugs, it's encouraged to have the inpatient setting. It's probably perhaps the best fit for people who consume high-risk drugs, and they are also at high risk of severe or complicated withdrawal with fewer support at home. With the inpatient detox programs, they usually will provide you a 24-hour supervision and support when needed, medical intervention while the recovering individual lives at the treatment center. The inpatient detox may be available in hospital-based or residential treatment settings as well. Substance abuse really takes a hard toll on the body, the mind, and the lives of both the users and their loved ones. People who struggle with addiction feel powerless and trapped with little hope of regaining control. Addiction is a very complex problem which results in psychological, physical, and social consequences for both the user and society at large. But looking at a good treatment plan, a good treatment method will work to break the chains of addiction and reclaim a person's life, while also helping them remain substance-free. They are assisted to gain social support, learn new coping skills, and develop healthy relationships, which is essential. This typically takes about 8 to 12 weeks depending on the particular plan in question. The treatments usually are non-confrontational and they are compassionate because they encourage the focus on current issues and behavioral changes. Despite that initial feeling of being hopeless or helpless, they are encouraged to empower themselves to create a life that's worth living one day at a time. The first things first is in any treatment process is the detoxification process. Typically we'll have group therapy or individual therapy, encouraging them to go through a 12-step group relapse prevention, anger management courses or therapy, cognitive behavioral therapy, conflict behavioral therapy, stress management, mindfulness, communication skills, looking at their nutrition as well. Even expressive therapy as well does help. The person will work with a therapist to make a recovery plan action for when they leave the center, and it's very important that the aftercare and follow-up is done so that whatever they have learned during their time in the center, they're able to implement it, and if they're having any struggles, they still get the support and good network from the center. And to foster recovery, it's also encouraged that we drink 2 tablespoons of apple cider vinegar in water every morning and evening. Zobo as well. Zobo with lots of garlic and ginger. Eat palm oil based foods. Drink lots of water. Take pap and ogi. Lots of fruits and vegetables. Keep busy. Pepper soup, vitamin C, cod liver oil. Basically trying to live a very healthy and balanced diet. Also very important is keeping busy no matter how insignificant the job may seem, and engaging in mindfulness and positive thinking across as you go day by day. Even if you find yourself, it's maybe sweeping your room, laying your bed, tidying up your compound. It might seem insignificant. Gives you that sense of peace. Gives you that sense, it humbles you, but it keeps you grounded. That's pretty much what I have for this topic. You heard me. If you have any feedback or questions in relation to the topic today, please send me a message at hello@mind-setco.com. Also, special thanks to Ben Sounds for the music, Funky Element, and special thanks to Drug Use Survey, Nigeria 2018 report from the United Nations Office on Drug and Crime in collaboration with the Nigerian Statistics Office as well. It's alright, thank you so much for listening. Do have a wonderful rest of the day. Thank you.